When I was younger, I started working out because I was concerned about the way I looked, and after making some good progress, I thought maybe eventually getting into being a competitive bodybuilder was the thing that I should pursue. As I've grown up, I quickly realized how unhappy the standard bodybuilding lifestyle made me. Don't get me wrong, I'm grateful for the discipline and the physique that I've developed over the time pursuing bodybuilding, but over the last year and a half or so of starting to get into running has brought me more fulfillment than bodybuilding ever has. Bodybuilding may have been good for my self-esteem, but running has been good for my soul. With my physical health, shifting my focus in life from appearance to performance has made all the difference. That being said, I am training for a marathon, so here's everything I'm doing to get started. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brandon Scheller. I'm a personal trainer, really interested in redefining what it means to be healthy, because I think in society today, it kind of just means being able to show up for work, but I really want to change it to mean having the capacity to live a full life. That being said, I am really enjoying running over this last year and a half. Honestly, I think for me, it has allowed me to live a much greater introspective life, and it's just been a very fulfilling pursuit, kind of a physical endeavor and good challenge for me overall. The things I'm doing to get started is kind of just threefold, really. I got into running by starting off with the Nike Run Club app, and the guided coaching, like audio guided runs, has been amazing. Coach Bennett on there and all the other guests that they have is like, it really connects me to like the enjoyment and the fulfillment of running, because running isn't just about the running and running a certain pace, but it's a lot more than that. They really tap into that on Nike, and I think just Nike's marketing overall, they really do that. Highly recommend those. All the coaching plans are free, so I am following the marathon training plan, and as of today, as of this week, is about 7.5 weeks out. From April 22nd, and here in Kansas, there's the Land of Oz Marathon, which I haven't signed up for yet, but I have been training as if I am running that.
So I just got done recording what you are watching right now, and I'm out for my speed run. We usually have one speed run per week and about 5 runs per week. One speed run, you have one long run, and then 3 recovery runs. It's nice because the audio guided runs, they'll kind of coach you through each run. So like today is a 10K tempo run where it warms up and they kind of count you down to when you start, and then they'll talk you through it as you run. So speed run today, recovery run tomorrow, rest, long run on Sunday. It's fun. All right, speed run done. About 7 miles at an 8:40 pace. 1K cool down, get some fluids, get some carbs, get some good food, and a good night's sleep. That's the secret.
Now, that being said, with Nike, I do have some Nike running shoes. First foreclosure though, I will say out of all the running shoes I've tested, the Saucony Endorphin Speed 3s have been the best shoes I've ever ran in, but there's just something about Nike that when you put them on, you feel like you're just kind of connecting to something bigger. And I love that. So first up, I have these Nike Vaporfly, which I got for half off on eBay last year. And these are what I used when I went to just go and see if I could go run a marathon last September-ish. So I have ran a marathon before. However, it was just on a random Saturday, and I just wanted to see if I could do it. I read David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me book, and just was like, can I even do it? Turns out I can do it, and it was a really awesome challenge I got to do. So I'm ready to get back for more. Now, for daily training, I don't use those Vaporflies every day, but what I do have are the Nike Pegasus Turbo Next Natures and the Invincible Run. This is the second version of those. These Peg Turbo Next Natures, they're kind of good for just general slower pace and a little bit more faster pace. Any sort of kind of runs, I would feel confident going in these. They don't have a carbon plate in there. That's what the Vaporflies do. Those are good for race days, but for these, it's just a comfortable shoe with the ZoomX foam. There's something about the Nike ZoomX foam that really allows me to stay injury-free and just allows my legs to recover so fast. And there's other factors to that, but the ZoomX foam is something special, and this is recycled ZoomX foam, so it's not nearly as good as what's in the Vaporfly, but these are still a really fun, enjoyable shoe, and I think they look really sick. They're still very clean, but a good shoe. For longer runs or just runs in which, I'm struggling to kind of get out of the door, this is kind of like that shoe, but with like twice the cushion. So it's a really fun kind of bouncy shoe to run in, like you're running on trampolines almost. Really takes a lot of pressure off of your knees, your legs, you name it. So good shoe when you're really struggling to physically get out the door and go run. I have ordered for the race upcoming the Alphafly version 2. They're expensive shoes, but hey, health and fitness is my jam, so I'm happy to invest in that and invest in myself. So review for those to come, but that's what I'm using for training right now. Now, second up, beyond just the training plan itself, as a personal trainer and nutritionist, I really feel confident in my abilities to know how to fuel and use nutrition for success. The main struggle right now, though, is being able to find the balance and find the right foods to really fuel myself for the long runs, especially. The last 2 weeks or so, the long runs, they've been about 13, 15 miles to 2.5 hours of running for me. And so the next day, I haven't quite nailed nutrition for those, but you start to feel really kind of dehydrated, like slightly kind of hungover the day after, just from expending all the energy and kind of feeling that fatigue and being dehydrated. So figuring that out, but throughout the rest of the week, I really enjoy how much I know about using carbohydrates and electrolytes to fuel your runs and really know how to use food for performance. Over this last month or so, as I've kind of gotten into running, it's crazy how much of a benefit of just like eating real good foods and trying to avoid processed foods as much as possible. Like, it's a subtle shift, but I really feel it, and I highly recommend anyone else trying to just avoid added sugar and just processed foods overall, and trying to cook for yourself as much as possible. Really does make a big difference. Nutrition is a very kind of in-depth category, so I'll have another video of this to come about specifically like how to use it to be so successful, but I'm really happy with what I know, and that this is not going to be kind of my limiting factor going into this. Lastly, the specifics of running. My goal, I want to run a sub 4-hour marathon. Back when I did one back in like random September, October-ish, it was like a 4.5 hour-ish marathon with like very little training. To run a sub 4-hour marathon, it's about 9 minutes per mile for every mile in the race. And I feel really confident that I'm averaging that in just like easy recovery runs and like on my long runs right now. So I think through consistent training, I can get to that point to be able to run that for a race. Again, race day is April 22nd. It's about 7 weeks away, so I really feel like I got a good runway leading up to it to really push myself and not only achieve that goal, but like crush that goal. Long term, few years like from now, who knows, I want to be able to kind of do two things. The Boston Marathon, you have to qualify for it. You have to run a sub 3-hour marathon if you're like under 30 years old or something like that. Being able to not only run a sub 4-hour marathon in this one, but then eventually being able to work up to running a sub 3-hour marathon, because I think how cool would it be like if I were to go around and travel the world, but it's based around different races and stuff like that. Like, I think that would be a sick way to travel. Building off of that, eventually I think it would be amazing to do an Ironman. Part of like me, when I wanted to build a cool physique, my idea was, okay, I'm gonna build a cool physique and then do cool things with it, if that makes sense. So I feel like I've kind of already gotten really confident in where I'm at with building my physique, but now it's just a matter of branching out and exploring some new challenges, specifically performance-based ones. So an Ironman is gonna be a triathlon, running, swimming. Well, it starts with swimming, cycling, and then running. And that's a big challenge from just a marathon, but I think it's something I can do with given good training. You know, I've found that's one of my biggest strengths, that it's like, if I have a training plan and I have certain things to do on the training plan, I show up and do it. Even if it's not a great day of training, I still show up and get it done. That's one of my biggest strengths, that it's like, if it's on the plan, I'm doing it. And I think that's a great way to find success, is that you just show up and get things done. So if you can't tell how excited I am just talking about these things, I've really been enjoying training already, and I'm really excited to push myself and aim for that sub 4-hour marathon. Now, on top of running, I'm also still doing 3-day routine in the gym to help bulletproof my body and still build up my physique to kind of maintain that. Thankfully, it takes less to maintain your physique than it does to try and build on top of it, but I'm still finding good strength gains even while running. So I've really figured that balance out as well. And again, this is just my expertise as a personal trainer and understanding good periodization, programming, finding a good balance between volume and recovery. But it feels good to know this stuff, that I've found out things that work. And now it's just a matter of kind of pushing myself to keep going and to go further than what I think I can. So again, you know, I'm really interested with the Underdog Improvement Club, doing the things we think we can. And I think this is one step that puts me outside of my comfort zone to push myself and do something that maybe, I don't know, can I do it? I think it's close, and I think it's worth a try. So let's get some miles in. All that's left is to pretty much not screw up. So let's get it. Let's run it. Thanks for hanging with me. If you're interested in watching more videos and you aren't subscribed already, hit that subscribe and notification bell down below. I'm making other videos about strength of character and how you can build a strong physique with that as well. I think the idea of living a full life is to really have a holistic approach to health and understanding how can health enrich our life and make every other aspect of it better. So it's one thing to have a cool physique, but it's another thing to be a cool human in general. If you're interested in that stuff, again, like and subscribe, you name it, you'll catch me in the next one.